Hello guys, KpShamino here with another tutorial for a guide, and this time it's my crit sweep heavy strike. Leap slam build heavy strike for single, sweep for of course AoE and packs of trash, and leap slam for mobility because it's very handy that you can jump on stuff. And now with the new labyrinth, it's very handy that you can jump over the traps and all that stuff around. So that's very good, therefore I got it in the build too, and it does a nice amount of damage too. So when I started this build in 2.1, there was one major problem. It's very hard to get like crit in the Marauder area because there is not a lot of crit. It's very hard to get crit on an X because I wanted to play with the X. So I wanted to make a build with an X. I'm not what I do is always like this. If I like a weapon, I take that weapon, I try to make it with the build until it works for endgame mapping. So I'm not going to go for, I know that there is a staff better for a crit build. Okay, I know that, but that's the easy way, and I'm not going the easy way. So it has to work, and it works really well. The DPS is very good. The survivability is very good too. So I'm very happy with this build because the clear speed is insane. Because you do like a radius of 360 degrees around you, so you hit very hard. So, but the hardest part that I had was this one. So I'm using the Abyssus, but the Abyssus got one major problem. You take an insane amount of increased physical damage. And you feel it. If you don't have enough armor or physical reduction, you are fucked. I saw that sometimes that was like I was running, I got a melee heavy group, they hit me too hard, or I was a little bit too late with my leap, that you got like a knockback, and I was fucked, so I died. So I tried to figure around a solution, and I got a couple of solutions. So now I got 6 endurance charges, I got power charges too, I got a lot of frenzy charges too, so I got everything in each other, and I will explain you guys when I go to the gems section which combo of endurance charges. So what you need to activate endurance charges, I think there are 3-4 combos that you can use. It depends what you like. So I don't think that there is a combo that is better. It depends. If you want more DPS, you need more power charges. You cannot consume them. If you need more endurance charges, you need endurance charges. Do you want the endurance charges to be up the whole time, or do you want to get like Immortal Call that consumes them? So there is a lot of stuff. Do you want to go with the Enduring Cry? Do you want to push to get... So that's how you want to gameplay it, but that's the main factor. Power charges, frenzies, and endurance charges. How can I get them up when I'm playing this build? Okay? But first of all, I'm going to show you guys the skill tree as always. So let's go to the skill tree. Okay, I'm going to start first. I'm playing with Berserker as the Ascendancy subclass. Why Berserker? Because it's, you don't need to think a lot about Berserker. Raw damage, and I like raw damage. I tried the Juggernaut because I want to go a little bit with Fortify and all that stuff. But the main problem is that you need to have like a flow of endurance charges. You need to take hits. So guys that take with two hand the Juggernaut, if you need to depend on endurance charges on a hit, that's not a good solution. Because if you want to wait a little bit until you get hit, it doesn't work in my head for me. It doesn't work. So I went with the Berserker. So the same like with my Ground Slam Thunder build. So go to Aspect of Carnage, 40% damage more. That's insane. And I'm taking Pain Reaver. Of course, guys, if you go with Enduring Cry to get your endurance charges, go to this node Warbringer. It's of course better if you use a War Cry. So don't go for this, go for that. Okay, the other ones are not that good. I don't like Rite of Ruins. You need to kill something to get a 6% reduced damage taken. That's very good. If I don't need to kill for it and I got it the whole time up, right away I take that. And then the next cannot be stunned if you killed recently. No, doesn't work for me. If you go to an end boss or a boss somewhere yeah, you cannot skip Unwavering Stance for it. Unwavering Stance is always up. So, no, doesn't work. This is setup. If you go with the Warcry, go to Warbringer. Otherwise, take this setup. That's it. Okay. The build. The build is like a little bit different, of course, than for if you go Resolute Techniques. So I still going to this Root Warrior's Blood, Born to Fight, Butchery. Here I take Diamond Skin. I only need to take that to cap my resistance. If you don't need to cap your resistance, fuck that Diamond Skin and take another setup. I'm going to post, of course, on the website the Trellan tree for a level 100, and I'm not going to put the plus resistance in it. I never do that because that's a thing you need to do by yourself. I cannot see what kind of gear you got. I cannot see how much resistance you got. So it's optional. You can take it if you need it, but you don't need to take it if you don't need it, of course. It's a little bit silly. You overcap resistance. Okay. Then we go here to the north, and here I take material experience. Why material experience? It boosts a really good two-handed melee weapon damage, and I took it too for the increased stun duration with two-handed melee weapons on enemies. Later on, when I go to the endurance charge section, I will say why. Okay, then we are going to amplify again. Then here we go to the left, we take Tireless, of course, because it's still a mana build. It's a very good node. Life and reduced mana cost of skills, so it works really well. Then here I got Experience and Essential Knowledge, but of course you need to take that. That's just the same story as with the Resistance. If you got enough Dexterity or all Attribute or Intelligent on your items, you don't need to take that. I take the Dexterity here. First you get accuracy from it too. It's very good for a crit build, but I take it for the first place for Blood Rage, because I level it to level 20, then I make a 20 quality of it, and then I level it to 11 or 12, and then I still can win attack speed. So you need to check it out for yourself, because the less levels you only get like 2 or 3 attack speed more, but if you go quality 20 you get 5 attack speed, if I'm not mistaken, but check it out for yourself, guys. Then we are going here to the left all the way to the bottom. By the way, guys, this is a level 92 Aventur. If I go to 100, I would go to here. I would take really through the overcharge. I want to get one more maximum power charge in. I like the power charge, they buff so hard the DPS. And this area is really cool too. Here you got like some more life and all that stuff. So for the 100 build, probably going to here for the last 8 points. But you guys will see on the website. By the way, you see here 5000 HP. It's low, I know that, but I don't have HP on my gloves. I don't have a lot of HP on my necklace. I don't have HP on the helmet. So, but that I cannot change, but the two other things I can change. The other thing is I'm using Rumira's Banquet. So that's not an HP thing too. So therefore it's a little bit limited on HP, but if I get my gear a little bit better with HP on it, you guys will see why I'm not changing my glove. It's insane what I rolled in Labyrinth, but that's for later on. So let's go to the south now, and then we are here at Disemboweling. You need to take that, of course. That's one of the few nodes that you can take here with crit chance on. Then here you got 3 other, but it's so low, the critical strike chance that you get from those nodes, that is better that you just take raw physical damage. Then we are going here to Barbarism. Then you take Cleaving and Slaughter, of course. It's very good boosters for access. And here I take my first extra maximum endurance charge. And the node in front of it is really good too. Get 0.2 of maximum life regeneration per second per endurance charge. I got 6, so that's 1.2. That's really cool. That's really cool. Therefore, I took this one. Okay, that's the north. So simple north. It's not a lot that you need to change. All two-hand builds are almost identical the most of the time, because there are some nodes that you can just not skip in build. Okay, then we are going to the south. The south, we are going first here to the north, of course, Constitution. I take the jewel on the way to Constitution. It's very good note. And then we are going to Unwavering Stance. Unwavering Stance, yeah, I always take it because in the past I died so many times of it. I'm taking now Soul of Steel too. Soul of Steel is really good. It's just an endurance charge that is up the whole time. So you got 4% additional physical damage reduction. So, and the increased armor is really good too. So I took it in this build because, like I already said, you are going to take a lot of physical damage extra. Then we are going to Bloodless. Then we go here to the right. I was thinking to go here to Hema, but then I needed to go too far around because I don't take Executioner or Wrecking Brown for the simple reason that I don't have enough skill 3 points. If it depends on me, I would take everything, but yeah, sometimes you need to make a decision. So then I went to here, I go to Splitting Strikes. Very good note. Physical attack damage leads as life, and nice physical damage for access. Then I take my second maximum endurance charge. So that's 4 that I got, plus 2 is 6. Then we are going here to Destroyer, Master of the Arena, Bravery and Art of the Gladiator. Then we go a little bit further to the right. We take, of course, Golem's Blood. Is a must in every two-handed build. Then I take here Cloth and Chain. Of course, the same reason that I take Diamond Skin. It's not necessary if you got Resistance. I would suggest the guys that go 100, I'm probably going to put it in the 100 build too, to take this Frenzy Charge. I don't have enough skill points at the moment, or my resistance is not kept, but I would to take that Frenzy Charge. The Frenzy Charge extra is a very nice DPS boost. And then we are going to this cluster. Why I'm going to this cluster? Because of course you need some mana leech, because we are working with Blasphemy, and the main problem with Blasphemy is that it's a curse, and if you come on ads or trash or a boss or something like that that cannot be cursed, you're fucked. Because you don't leech any more mana. And in Berserker I got the mana leech too, but you need to kill for that. Here you see it. So if you killed recently, and that's the main problem. So therefore I go to there. And I take on the meanwhile, of course, the damage leech nodes too. It's, by the way, a very good node, Vitality Void, for the guys that don't know. It's 0.8% of attack damage leeches as life. So that means all damage leeches that life. So it's not only physical, it's all damage. So therefore I took it. Of course you need life leech, otherwise you cannot survive in this game. And as a melee, you are dead the whole time. Okay, that was a skill tree. There is some stuff changing. It looks really good. I went a little bit more on the endurance charges, so it's a very safe build. Take it from me. You guys will see on the website. I'm, as always, going to put some maps on. I got already the shipyard. I'm going in 80, maybe 81 and all that stuff. So you can do it easily with those maps. Now it's time for the gem selection. So the gem selection, it took me some time because it's always the same. So I start playing a build and then I die. And then I think maybe I need to change something. But this game is just like that. You cannot make a build that you don't die. That's a little bit frustrated sometimes because I died once. I was just running and there was a rare mob and it takes me 3 hits to kill it. And before I know it, I was dead on the ground. Reflect elemental damage. Yeah, it's not a lot I can do about it. I can go a lot slower, but yeah, the experience farm in this game is so insane that you cannot go slow. If you go slow, it takes way too much time. It's a farm game. So, and then I died 2 times. I leaped in a group, and once of a sudden I saw that red circle going open under the group, and I wanted to get away, but yeah, it was too late, one shot. So that's how you die in the game, and you cannot overcome it, or you need to go like with a 100% spell block, 100% physical block. But yeah, then you play like a grandmother in my opinion, because it goes so slow, and I'm an DPS guy. But enough said, let's go to the gems. So first of all, sweep, and sweep is a really cool spell. And I think a lot of people don't like to play it, but in racing, every Marauder plays it. Once you hit, I think, level 12, you just take sweep because it's very good to farm, and it got a knockback. So it knocks back, and it's 39% chance to knock enemies back on hit. So the melee is not coming to you. You just keep knocking them the whole time. So I think sweep needs some love in the future. That's my opinion. So that's what I'm thinking, but yeah. Then we are going to increase critical strike, and with the Ascendancy patch they did something very nice. I think, I'm not sure, but I think they added it, because it's so much that they always added it. The main problem that we had in the past was that if you want to go with the axe, or if you want to go with the mace, two-handed mace, the base critical strike chance, so on that item, was very low. So it was always 5, and that's the minimum. You could do two things then. You take an axe or a mace with local critical strike on it, so that the crit goes up. But that was very expensive. So here you see critical strike chance is 5. That's the minimum. So that's low. If you start at 7, 8, and then you just stack up critical strike chance, you are going to have a lot of more critical strike chance at the end. If you start at, let's say, 8 or 9%, that's going to be a lot higher. So therefore I'm very happy now with the increased critical strike cam. They put like plus 2% to increase critical strike chance. That means to the base. So now I got the 7 increased critical strike weapon, and then they're going to stack everything on that number. And that's really cool, because now it's playable. I think I got with 3 power charges over 50 or 55 critical strike chance, and 300 or 400 increased critical strike multiplier. So it's playable and it's very fun, and I can push a lot of DPS with it. Then we are going melee physical damage, faster attacks, multi-strike and edit fire. Simple setup. You can go with another setup too, but it's hard to roll it. So increased critical strike, increased area of effect, and concentrated effects. I played it sometimes, it gives more DPS, but you need the increased area effect, otherwise the radius is too small if you use concentrated effects. But it's hard to roll, it's 3 blues and 2 reds, so it's complicated to roll. So I'm using Atziri Disfavor. Axes are not that expensive if you compare it to maces, I said it the last time too. So it's better that you get a crit X for this build, and probably if I'm going to play this build, I'm going to invest in an X with critical strike on it, so that I start from a higher critical strike chance base. Okay, then we are going for Abyssus. Yeah, it's you need to invest some money. I cannot help it that most of the uniques here got critical strike and not the normal gear, so you need to have it. Everybody that plays a critical strike build knows that. So I went for this helmet. Cast when damage taken 2020, increased duration 2020, molten shell 2020, here it is 7020, and iron will. Why iron will and not immortal call? That's up to you guys. I don't like that my immortal call goes automatically consume my endurance charges. Therefore I put it, I think, here. So I do it manually. If you guys don't have a problem with it, or you got like so much armor that it doesn't matter a lot, you can just put it back in the cast when damage taken. The iron will works on my molten shell, so it just buffs the DPS of my molten shell because that's elemental damage. So iron will buffs that. It's a nice amount. It's like I think 5 to 7k if it explodes. So that's good. Therefore I use it. Then here I got Romira's Banquet. Why I'm using Romira's Banquet here? Because Romira's Banquet is really good to get power charges. The main problem is if you don't do a crit, you get a power charge. If you crit, you lose the power charges. That's the main problem, that you lose them. But with Warlord's Mark on Blasphemy, it works really well. So that's the first combo that you can do. So you need to get this unique, so you build up your power charges. Okay, you are going to lose them, but most of the time you have like a nice stack of power charges, And then you got Warlord's Mark. Warlord's Mark, that means with Blasphemy, you got always 6 endurance charges up. So that's a good combo. I'm not using this combo most of the time. I will show you later, guys, what combo I use. Of course, the necklace, global critical strike chance, multiplier, add physical damage to attacks. Life is good on it. You can put some resistance on it. It's all good. It's always the same. Armor, HP, critical strike chance, resistance. So it's always the same. Be sure, I always say it in my movies, cap the resistance. In this build, you can go maybe under it a little bit because there are so many endurance charges in it and it's very easy to build them up. An endurance charge gives 4 elemental reduction too. So it goes to your cap simply. So you can go a little bit slower maybe on the capping, but I always cap it. Then I'm going to my diamond ring. Of course, crit means diamond rings, just the same that you do. And I'm using my glorious plate here too, a lot of armor again. And here my link is Immortal Call. I'll put it here because I do it manually. Then it's Sleep Slam, relieve physical damage, fortify, faster attacks, and I'm using added fire. Okay, it does nice damage, 36 damage. So I jump on a group, they are going to knock back, 36 damage. That's a very heavy DPS already. A little sweep, and over all the loot, all the expensive loot, put it in your inventory, next group. That's how it works. Then we are going for the gloves. So here I got a central protector. So that's very good. The totem is very good. It gives a nice DPS boost. Then we got Hatred. Then we got Blood Rage. Blood Rage I put on increased duration. Why? Because it's 15 seconds up. Blood Rage is, yeah, you need it to get your frenzies going. Otherwise it doesn't work. Blood Rage is really good too because it life leech too. So this is a setup. Then I'm going to my boots and we got here, we got Blasphemy and we got Warlord's Mark. I switch when I play to Assassin Mark. I will say later why. It's a strange combo. It's hard to get 2 blues, 1 green, 1 red on like an armor boots. Therefore, the combo is so a little bit strange. But I take here Minium Life because here is my summon Ice Golem. Critical Strike build means the Ice Golem. Simple. You just need to take it. Because you need to get all the crit in that you can have. So, therefore I take this setup. If I go to Assassin Mark, I just clear this one, this blue socket, and I put it here, and I get Warlord's Mark out. Therefore, it's a little bit strange setup in my combo, but that's how it works. Okay, my flasks. When to remove curse, of course. When to remove bleeding. I got my Taste of Hate still, very expensive. If you cannot buy it, it's not a must. It's just a little bit less DPS. Yeah, a little bit. It's a lot of DPS. A granite flask with extra armor mod on it and a quicksilver. That was it for the setup. I'm going to show you guys here my DPS. It's 92 DPS. So if I want, with my 2 frenzies, with my 3 power charges, with my totem, I think I can go 170, 180 on sweep. That's a lot of DPS. That's really a lot of DPS. So if you want to go on single target, just get a sweep out, get a heavy strike in it, and here we are already on 142. Okay, the X is not cheap, it's 20 exalted, but the other gear is not that difficult to get. So if you farm a little bit, you can acquire it really easy. And you can get like a 500 DPS X, I think, for 5 to 10 exalted. So it works really well, but heavy strike, it goes to 250, 260. So that's a lot of damage, but yeah, Ascendancy patch 2.2 gives us a lot of DPS, so it works really well. Okay, if you go to a boss, you can do 2 things. Get rid of your increased critical strike. No, not 2 things, only 1 thing. You get rid of this. You put concentrated effects in it. Concentrated effects is very good to make an AoE spell a single target spell. So now you will see I start at 120 DPS. For sweep, that is. If you say, yeah, I miss a little bit area radius, just get increased area of effects. So those 3 gems work really well in your blue socket, in your 6 link. Okay, that's it for the skill tree, the gems, and the gear. Now I'm going to spend like a couple of minutes how you need to get endurance charges. There are some combos. So the easiest one is you go just with Enduring Cry. Just put it up, you just hit it once, all the enemies around you, you get like an endurance charge from it. So it goes very quick in a group of 10 guys. You just jump in it, you do it. But the main problem is you need to push it. So I don't like to do that every group, to push that stuff. It's the easiest way, I know, and it's very handy, because now with the Berserker I already showed you that you can instant cast it the whole time, but I don't like to do it. Then the second that you can use, the second option that you can use is just Endurance Charge on melee stun. So how does stun work in this game? Even without threshold on enemies, you can stun every creature in this game. It depends on the DPS and on the HP of that creature. So a lot of people don't know that because they think, yeah, I need threshold. No, you don't need that. You always got the base threshold. So I tested it. I started a level 1 guy. Not a level 1, I had a level 75 guy. I resetted all my talents and I just went for level 1, no gear, only my weapon. And I went with a Molten Strike with like Endurance Charge on melee stun, only with the weapon, and I went to normal Act 1. And indeed, I generate Endurance Charges. So I just hit stuff, and Endurance Charge on melee stun got like 90% reduced enemy stun threshold and 20% increased stun duration on enemies. So on 2020. So that already generates more chance to get a stun in. So you can just put it in your 6 link. I would suggest to get faster attacks away or edit fire. That I think are the 2 lowest DPS ones. You just put it in and you are going to generate endurance charges. You don't need to do anything. You are going to do it. It goes a little bit slower. It's probably the slowest tactic that you can do. And you are going to lose DPS, of course, because you need to get like a DPS support gem out of your 6 link. Therefore, I don't use it. Sometimes I use it. I can show you guys when I do the map. But I not use it a lot. Those 2 things I don't use. Then the other option is, and that's what I play most of the time, is you go with the Ressus Defiance. So the Ressus Defiance is a very good chest. There is one major problem, that if you get hit, you lose your endurance charges. That's what I don't like about it, but if you see what it can do, so you gain an endurance charge on kill. So that means if you jump in a group, you kill them all, you are going to be maxed on endurance charges. You gain onslaught for 1 second per endurance charge when hit. So that means I'm going to have 6 seconds onslaught. I got onslaught in my talent tree too. So that's, I think, most of the time I got onslaught. And that's really good. So, but the main problem with this chest is, of course, you lose your endurance charge. But I play with this combo. So the Ressus Defiance I use. And then I'm going with Assassin Mark on Blasphemy, because Assassin Mark is the best, I think, to play if you play crit melee. So it gives, I need to check now, it gives, I think, 29% chance to get a power charge. The main problem with Rumera's Banquet is it consumes your power charge if you crit. So I play this combo, Blasphemy, Assassin's Mark, but you guys can play what you want. If you want to play safe, you go with Blasphemy Warlord Mark, as I play with Romera's Banquet. If you want to go Enduring Charge, Enduring Cry, you go Enduring Cry. Endurance Charge on melee stun is probably the easiest. You just put it in your 6 link and it's done. If you want to go a little bit silly like me and a little bit dangerous like me, you go with the Ressus Defiance with the Assassin on Blasphemy. So that was it, guys. I'm going to put that how to make endurance charges or create the endurance charges. I'm going to put it in the website too, or maybe I'm going to make a movie. So now you guys got everything, and now it's time to play. So I'm going to show you guys how you need to play this stuff. So I prepared the map, canyon map, so not too high. Because the main problem is, if I go too high, I need to focus too hard and I need to talk at the same time too. So it's a little bit more complicated than Resolute Techniques, because Resolute Techniques you don't need to do a lot, you just hit everything the whole time. Before I forgot, let's have a look at my stats. So I got a chance to hit 85%, so I still need to work on that number because I want to get it a little bit higher. It gives a lot of more DPS, so 85% of the time I only hit. Here you see my critical strike chance is 17.85% and 326 critical melee multiplier. True percent life leech, 0.2% life leech from physical attacks, 0.44 from physical attacks mana, so it's decent. And I will show you guys on my sweep. So here you see the chance is of course higher. I go because the increased critical strike chance is linked with sweep. So I can go to 50 and that's a decent number. So one of the two attacks I do a crit. Okay, so let's have a look at the defensive stance. So I got a lot of armor, really a lot of 10,000 armor. That's 56 physical damage reduction. So if I go with 6 endurance charges, that's 24, so I'm at 80% physical damage reduction, and that's a lot, and it works really well. So that's really good. Yeah, for the other fact, charges, I got 6 charges, endurance charges. I got 3 frenzies, and I got 3 power charges. So, not a complicated build. You need to adapt a little bit what you like on the endurance charges, because that's the most important in my opinion. The other fact, it's not that important. I gave you guys already some combos that you can play, so that's how you need to do it. Let's do now that canyon map. So let's get everything up. So you need to put your 2 auras up and your blasphemy. Don't forget blood rage. It's going to be 15 seconds up because I linked increased duration on it. Let's get the golem up and then we are ready. Now you see 96,000 DPS, so that's a really nice DPS. Okay, here we go. Let's have a look. Okay, and here you guys can already see, so I got right away my endurance charges up, of course Warlord Marked. My power charges are consumed, my frenzy charges jumped off too now. So that was really easy to do. I got, so it works really well. I got right away an Exile, I got already a 6 link too. So really good to work with. So it works really well, the build. I'm going to get now everything up and I'm going to check how much DPS that I got. Okay. Okay, let's have a look. 122. So I had now all my power charges up and I had, I think all my frenzies up too. So 122, if you got Onslaught it goes now to 158 even. So yeah, it works really well. Yeah, you need to watch those dudes because they do a lot of physical damage. So I forgot now to get my granite flask up. Because you need to use it on those dudes because they hit like a truck if they die. I'm not sure why they do it all the time, stuff like that, but yeah, it's how it is. There's not a lot we can do about it. Now I popped my Taste of Hate. Let's have a look now. 170, 178. So you can do a lot of DPS with this build, as I already said. And now I'm going to show you guys the other combo that you can do. So let's get my the Restless Defiance on. Okay, yeah, I got no gems in it. I can switch my Romera's Banquet now too, with just a diamond ring. So now I'm not going to lose my power charges, but I'm going to lose my endurance charges. I need to take Assassin Mark here too. I need to get Warlord's Mark again, away. So, okay. I need to wait a little bit for the mana. So that's how I always play. So endurance charges are now going to consumed, but power charges are going to be up. And you do a lot of more DPS because assassin marks give more DPS on a crit strike, gives more chance to get a crit strike. So you will see it goes a little bit hardcore more than DPS wise than the previous setup for endurance charges. Yeah, my leap is not on it now. That's not a really big problem. So let's have a look what we can... I need to get Blood Rage up. Yeah, and the problem is, those dudes are coming from beyond. So they hit sometimes really hard, because I'm now playing without thinking. So let's get Blood Rage up, and let's have a look how much DPS we got now. I don't think that the DPS 148. So it's another setup, it works too, but you see the endurance charges are being consumed by my chest. So that was it for the movie, guys. A very cool build to play with. It's a little bit more complicated than my Ground Slam, but if you can get through it and can get the gear, it's a really fun build to play. Very good in experience farming. So thanks for watching, guys. If you like the movie, give me a like. If you like my channel, subscribe please. Have fun with Marauder in Ascendancy 2.2. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.